Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Paul Mesa, and for me, it's a pleasure to start this gift for everything who want to obtain the project management certification, in special with the new PMBOK guide, the version 8. For me, as I told you before, in order to start this support, who is plenty of free, we are going to talking with all regarding to the information that contain the new version. If you can see, I prepared one specific spreadsheet where you can find all the topics that contain this new version. From today, we are going highway all the information regarding to the standard for project management and all the contents that contain the guide from the PMBOK guide in this new 8 version. As you can see, I will share this spreadsheet where you can find all the topics, and I schedule it in around 40 days that you can complete all this information with me, because I will share all this information by my social network in order you can review with a more time. If you can see, in this specific book that contains two parts. In the first part, we are talking about regarding to the standard for project management, who includes four specific topics. One is regarding to the introduction, another is a system for value deliverable, and the last most important for me is regarding to the project management principles. And finally, you will see all regarding to the project life cycles in this specific standard. Uh, what you can find in each of these main four topics? First of all, in the introduction, you will can see all regarding to the purpose of the standard project management. You can see the key terms and concepts, all regarding to the foundational elements. But the most important is that all of this information today is connected, because it is connected with the main purpose in order to add value in all the projects. On the other hand, we have all regarding to the system value for a project, and for that reason, in this second chapter, you can find all regarding the creating value, project environment. In this specific case, for example, you will see again, because in the last version we don't have this part, we have find around all information regarding to the enterprise environment factors, all information regarding to organizational process assets, policies, procedures, and for me, the most important is in this specific part is all regarding to organization knowledge repositories, because this is the most important tool that project manager needed in order to improve your project. And finally, in this specific topic, we can see all regarding to the organizational structures. Um, what else? We can find in this specific chart too, all specific regarding to the product management functions associated with the projects, and more information related, and especially regarding these functions. All regarding, for example, the provide oversight and coordination, solid and manage feedback, facilitate support, perfect work, apply expertise, provide organization direction and provide resource. And finally, you will find in this specific topic in the sector charted all regarding to the project management roles, because in this specific part you will see all the regarding to the project management team, sponsor, customer, project team, and end user and other key stakeholders. All of this part is the second topic from this specific standard. The next topic is the principles. These principles is very important because today we have these specific 8 principles that the people have to start to review. They have to understand what happened in this month. First of all, in this specific topic, in this chapter, they're talking about the project management set. In the second, the principles, the holistic view. But in here, you can find the most important. First of all, is the focus on value. What happened in the focus on value? You can identify the project impact, the principal in action, and the connected performance advice. Second is all regarding to the embedded quality in process deliverables. You can find the same. If you can see is project impact, principles, and connected with performance domains. But what happened with the three last is exactly the same structure. If you can see, In this new guide is more structured all the information, and for that reason it's more easy to understand what happened with the principles of project management. And finally, you have all regarding to the build and improved culture with the same structure. You can see this is the new specific principles that people have to start to understand what happened in each one of these. On the other hand, we have in this specific case all regarding to the project life cycles. This is all regarding to the project phase, project development approach, and in specific in this case, for example, you can identify predictive, adaptive, and hybrid approach. We are going to talk more about in the day 18 when we explain with exactly same and different business case when we can apply this different approach from these kinds of projects. What else? We can see in this specific part all the consideration for development approach selection, where we have the deliverables, project, and organization. And finally, you have all the specific, and the most important for me is the project management focus area. You remember in here we have the again in as the sixth edition we have in here all regarding to the initial focus area. What is it? Is very similar from initial process groups, planning focus area, execution monitoring, and closes. This specific case is very similar that the version 6, and that's good because who people who start to review all the last version, you can find that this piece is very important. I don't know why the reason in the last version it put in another part, but in this new version you are included in the specific part. After that, in the second part of the big specific standard, we have a specific information regarding to the guide. The guide of this, you can find the introduction, you can find all regarding to the project performance domain that is around 7 performance domains, all regarding to the how to tailor in these specific performance domains, inputs, tools and techniques, and all regarding the appendix, reference, and bibliography that we are start to review each one of these. In this specific part, in this introduction, we can find all regarding to the structure of the PMBOK, relationship, change of the PMBOK guide, and this specific information is in a high level. What happened with this? This is the core of the PMBOK guide. This specific core information in this moment is very structured, is very easy to understand what happened with these domains, because in the last domains is very stressful for me, but in this specific part you have a good structure. First of all, you have the governance performance domain, then you have the scope, the schedule, finance, stakeholders, resource, and finally the risk. This is a huge way in order to management in a good way any kind of a project. Finally, we have this specific information who start to tailor. This is very similar from the last version because the tailoring is in an overview of what is tailor, what we have to tailor the project, and we start to talking here regarding the life cycles, process, and engagement. And finally, explain this part all regarding to the tailoring process, because in this specific part you can identify all regarding to the organization, how to tailor the project, and implement the ongoing improvements. With this, we can finalize all regarding the timelines. After that, we have the inputs, and then all regarding the tool and techniques. But what else or what happened regarding to the appendix of the this new guide? We have a good structure and good information today from 2 points: the PMO and uh, the all regarding to the news, this new technology from anybody. Um, all regarding to the AA is artificial intelligence is very important, but you have to know how to use. We are waste plenty of time this specific date because we need to take plenty of time in order to define how many people, which tools, plenty of things that today in the PM site, you can find plenty of resources in order to use in a good way or regarding to this specific topic. Finally, you have the list of fewer tools of the both standard and the guide, and these all the topics that we are going to review in the next 54 days. I put in an order, but we are to review in 14 in the first 40 days. We are going to review all of this topic, but we are going to take 14 days more in order to put in practice and show a specific case that orient the people how to manage the project and how to pass the project management professional and obtain a good grade project management professional certification. Okay, let's go with the first date. As you can see, in the first date, we are going to talk in a specific, in a high level or regarding to the standard. And for me, that is good because you can see in the first part of this new book, you can find the license and you can find this image, the information, the PMBOK guide. But what happened here? In the copyright, you can find the key information. That is the key information that you need to know. First of all, how many principles do we have in this model? Six principles. How many focus areas? 5 focus areas. And how many domains? We have 7 domains. And how many processes? 40 processes. That is the key, the copyright, and that is the key of this new high edition, 8th edition. Because if you can see here, we have the 6 principles that this is the framework in order to start to develop and understand all regarding to this specific guide. And we return to use the focus areas. The focus areas is all regarding to the initial, planning, monitoring, etc. And finally, but the most important for me is the domains. Domain is the goal. 657 is for you the new key information, because with this information you can start to identify how it is structured this new version. Another hand, we have a specific notice regarding to the is very similar from the last one version, but in here you have the summary in the preface of this specific part, all regarding to the summary of change, the key terms, the principles, reintroduction of process groups as focus groups, focus areas, and project management for sense updates. What happened to this? What really happened? If you can see, this is the 7th edition. In 7th edition, you have the standard, you have the guide, and another part, you have the process group. Today, if we can see in this, if we remember, the 6th edition contains all of that. The 7 separate. But now, we have a simplified this specific part of introduction because we only have 6 principles, because we hope after you can see here, we have for around 12. That this is huge. We simplify all of that in a specific 6 principles. And then you have the 5 focus areas, that these specific focus areas is regarding specific from the all regarding to the process groups: initial, planning, executing, monitoring, and closing. In this specific part, we are going to talk regarding all the focus area. And finally, we have all regarding to the 7 domains. Domain that is perfect for me, is the perfect structure in this specific case, and it is a huge advantage in order to people how to management and how to understand in a better way all these 40 processes that we have in this moment. With this, you can see that in the refined principles, we have this specific update of K term and concept. We have to refine the principles, we reintroduce the process groups, and we update all the performance demand. That information you contain in the first sheet of this PMBOK, and then you can identify the difference in the 6 to 7 and then the 7 to 8. You can see here 6 to 7. First of all is the guide, and then is the standard. And 7, first of all, is the standard, and then you the guide. But the difference for us is that you have the standard with the process. With, I don't know what the reason, in the 7th edition, we don't put in the same part, but today is a new again, and simplify all regarding to the principles and improve all regarding to the domains. We have a best edition for me in order to start to obtain your project management certification. With all of that, in the table of the contents, I'm sorry for my English, but I try to do the best for me. In the table of the contents, you can see in this specific all regarding the phrasing, the introduction, a system for value deliverable. In here, you have all the structure of the information that we reviewed a few minutes ago, but the most important we have in here is all regarding to the project lifecycle. This both part is this three part value deliverables, principles, and project lifecycle is the core of the standard. And the core of the standard is complemented with the core information with the guide. In the guide, you have all the domains, and this domain today comes with a specific input and tool entities that you will start to review each one of that in the following videos that we upload all of these days in order you can review this information. And finally, you have it here already to the Appendix X1, Appendix X2, the project management office. This is awesome information, awesome. You can see plenty of things here. The most important here is if you can learn on all regarding to the type of model and the structure, you can manage plenty of people and plenty of projects in a good way. And as I told you, this is new, but no, it's not a big regarding to the artificial, but it's a huge tool for all of us. You can find here all regarding to the strategy for AI adoption, the state of the market. This is a huge advantage in here. The common use case, the responsible for use and ethical concern. In this part, you are talking regarding from the plenty of the ethical because most of people use in a bad way this artificial intelligence. But for me, it's very important that people, the project manager, have to understand this specific part. Finally, you have all regarding to the procurement because this is so important. All the project management, the main part of their function in any kind of job, it's the procurement. That's a good base the information in order people have to understand how is the procurement and how to implement in any kind of jobs. Finally, you have here all the list of figures and tables from both the standard and the grid. Is plenty. We have plenty of information, but it is a summary here that you can see. Okay, my friends. Again, with this, today we are finished this specific part. I think so. We have a huge way in order to understand how people can we review all these specific standards in order to how to concentrate all of this information and how to start to prepare for the take this new test. This specific guide I provide to all the people who want to take the project management professional certification with this new guide. I am going to provide all this information in a free part, all these is a PowerPoint presentation, all the Excel sheet. And if you have any kind of doubts, please call me, please send me a mail, send me a message by my social network. For me, it's a pleasure to share this information. I don't want to earn anything from your side. I only want to share because for me, it's a good way in order to to share the knowledge from other people because this is the base in order to improve this society. And that's all for me. That's all for me. I appreciate a lot that you can see this summary of this specific date, and I appreciate a lot your time. If you can help me, you only put follow me in this in my social network, and especially in YouTube and LinkedIn. And thank you very much for everything.